Hello and welcome to another NihongoGamer video. This is another episode of Water Break or Hydration Station. I know there's no name for it, but we'll get there eventually. Essentially, I was going to make a video about Street Fighter V. It's very exciting because Champion Edition has just been announced. They gave us information about the new Street Fighter V, well, the new edition of the game. We were promised two different updates. I think in November we were expecting to get like a character reveal, and that maybe in December we'd get some game mechanics. But what actually happened is after the tournament we got information about one new character and pretty much all the new game mechanics. I mean, who knows, there might be more coming in December. And I assume that what we're going to get next is just one more character reveal at Capcom Cup in December. Anyway, so this is the website that they've got going for Street Fighter V Champion Edition. It's quite exciting because what is probably the biggest thing that we can look forward to in Street Fighter V, and I'm not going to try and analyze everything in this video, this is just a quick little update, is the new edition of V-Skill 2. And I wasn't aware of this, but actually if you click here on how to play, so you can see right here, it actually says V-Trigger 2, V-Skill 1. So it's a 2 here and 1 here. So your V-Skill, you are going to have to select it. It looks like you're going to have to select it before the match starts, just like your V-Trigger. You're also going to have to select that, but you can like mix and match V-Trigger 1 and Skill 2, or Skill 1, V-Trigger 1, or whatever it is, whatever combination you want to go for. So I was considering making a video about this and I realized there's just too much information. I'm definitely going to mess something up. So I'm just going to give you my general opinions of this Street Fighter V update, because essentially what's happening is the producer of the game has said there's not going to really be much of an update in 2020, and it's because they're focusing on keeping the game nice and solid for the, professional players who are going to be taking part in the Olympics, or the Intel Olympics. It's like running alongside the Olympics. Anyway, there's an important tournament to do with the Olympics happening in 2020. As a result of that, they're saying that they're not going to work on updates too much for this game. So this, whatever this update is, this is basically what we're going to have to play with in terms of new and exciting stuff happening in 2020. And I was actually really excited when I saw all this stuff about V-Skill 2. And then I looked closer at the video, and if you look closer at the video, you realize it's actually, I know there's going to be 40 characters total, and we've only seen about 5 or 6 of these V-Skills. When I watched the trailer for the first time, I just felt like a lot of these V-Skills feel like V-reversals. We've already got V-reversal. Again, it's without seeing more information, it's hard to see how this is going to have like a significant effect on the game. I don't think it's going to make the game feel completely brand new, but it, of course, is going to make the game feel kind of fresh for another little while. So here's the thing about Street Fighter V for me. This is probably the game that I've played the most on stream and probably made quite a lot of videos about on YouTube as well. And I actually really like the game. I don't think it's like my favorite Street Fighter game of all time, but it does do what Street Fighter does, which is make itself kind of really, really present. I do quite like the game, but the reason I'm probably playing it the most out of all the fighting games I'm playing right now is because of the people that it attracts to the game, and it's kind of got a scene around it. It's exciting to see what players are still playing it, what they're doing with the game, and how they're using it to further their careers. And I just find it a very fascinating game to follow. And by playing it, I get to be part of that culture and go to events where people are playing the game, and I can show up at tournaments, talk to players that are stronger than I am, players that are weaker than I am, and we can all share information. And I find that community aspect of it really interesting. Of course, I'm really into plenty of other games, and you've seen videos about those games as well. I am still really interested in this game. I don't think it's a super deep game, but I do think it is good fun to play, and I'm not done with it 100% yet. This is the part of the video where they were introducing V-Trigger 1, and then after that V-Trigger 2, and then after that V-Skill 1, and then V-Skill 2, right? So this is really exciting when I saw this. I was like, it's happening! V-Skill 2 is happening, but we didn't know whether you were going to be able to use both V-Skills by like holding a direction in V-Skill, or whether you would have to choose it beforehand. I think it's just going to be a bit like when V-Trigger 2 came out. People are going to figure out which of the V-Skills is the best one, and which of the V-Triggers is the best one, and everyone's going to use that. And that's actually kind of the running story for me with Street Fighter V. So for new players getting into the game, they may have to deal with something which is very, very difficult and invented by one of the pro players, but it could be that the person who's using it is actually quite a low level player who doesn't really even understand why it's so strong. They just know that when they keep doing it, it's really strong. People figure out which is the best V trigger to use and which are the strongest characters to use. And again, I'm not a professional at the game at all. I don't make money by winning tournaments or anything. I just play it casually on stream and I make videos about it. I'm really getting the feeling from V-Skill 2. There's going to be a better of the V skills. It's not just going to be like this one suits my style better or that one suits my style better. It's going to be like, don't use V skill 1 for that character. That's the awful one. Use V skill 2. Some of these moves really feel like they're just V reversals. It's just like, I'm in a situation, I need to get out of here, so I'm going to do a flip over you. Or I'm Bison, I'm going to do this little teleport and appear on the other side. Or like maybe I'm in the corner. But that feels like what the V reversal does. They feel like get me out of here moves. So I guess in that regard, maybe you could think of the V trigger as your comeback mechanic, and that instead of V skill just being another move, maybe V skill is like another defense option, I suppose, like get me out of here, because a lot of people were saying when the game came out that there weren't really there weren't a lot of defensive options, they would say. Anyway, apart from the actual mechanics that are changing and the fact that we're going to get 2 new characters as part of whatever they're calling this Season 4 or Season 5 or whatever. What I mostly wanted to talk about was the fact that Street Fighter is not going to change too much after this update releases. And apparently they're going to release a package version of this game. You're going to be able to buy it, a new package version of this game, or you can just buy the update for like, I think it's $25 or £20. You're going to get pretty much, I think, all the characters, over 200 costumes, and tons of other things and stages and stuff that we had to buy previously as downloadable content. Honestly, I think anyone who's kind of interested to play the game seriously has probably already bought it, and probably already bought all the DLC and the characters that they were interested to get. This new price that they're going to release, and it's going to release in February, even though the content will already be available as of December. I think they're going to make this product available at a very low price to catch all the people who basically wouldn't have bought the game if it wasn't this price anyway. So this is for the people who were waiting for the price to drop down because they weren't seriously thinking about getting into the game in the first 3 years that it was still doing its tournaments and being quite active with development. It's one of those bell curve things. I think as the game is starting to cool off, they need to find a way to make as much profit out of the cooling off period. And I think by making it a low price, it means they can make more money out of the game from people who basically weren't sure if they were going to buy it anyway. They weren't such hardcore fans that they would buy the game no matter what, because a lot of us were going to buy the game no matter what. And I'm pretty certain that even if Street Fighter 6 is like a terrible game, I'll probably still buy it. That's like the staying power of Street Fighter. That's just what it is. I think this is a good way for them to make a bit more money off it, and hopefully that profit can go to development of Street Fighter 6, which I think people are very excited about, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Capcom does generally make fighting games on a sort of 4 or 5 year life cycle. Anyway, I'd love to make a complete video talking about every single thing that's going to change, all the new things that they're adding in all of these deals. For example, you can spend like $80 on this special pack from the Capcom store, and you'll get like a special commemorative box, and you'll get this little style guide and a nice little keychain, limited edition costumes. There's kind of a lot of stuff to talk about, but what I really wanted to talk about was, where is my hype level for this game? And maybe as well, because I've been playing it for the past year and a half or so, predominantly for streaming and making videos, like, I'm going to keep playing it a little bit longer because I'm kind of into it now. I'm kind of invested in it, and I do enjoy the game. I would say, though, that I don't think that V-Skill 2 is really going to shake the game up and make it, like, really, really popular and super exciting. Like, this is the big change that we've been waiting for. I think it's just going to kind of freshen up the game a little bit, just like everything else has kind of just freshens up the game a little bit. Like, even Arcade Edition, that freshened up the game quite a lot, but then after that it was mostly just character DLC, and even this year, character DLC, costumes, stages, tournaments. It's the meta, the stuff around the game, that makes it interesting. But as far as I can tell, it doesn't look like Capcom's going to do any massive overhauls to the game. I think if there's going to be any massive overhauls to the game, it's just going to be Street Fighter 6, not Street Fighter 5. This is what Street Fighter 5 is. You know, they changed the input lag and all that. The game got slowly closer and closer and closer to what a lot of us would want from the game, but they're not going to transform it and massively like appear on the other end, like this magical, golden, completely different game. Street Fighter V is what it is. You either like it or you hate it, but now it's a bit cheaper, so dig in. Anyway, that's all I've got time for now. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, share the links and all that great stuff. Just wanted to give you a little update on how I feel about the new changes. Don't think it's going to shake the whole world up, but it is going to freshen up the game a little bit. And who, there's plenty of fighting games coming out in 2020 anyway, so it's not like this is the only fighting game on Earth and you've like this has to hold our interest because we've got nothing else to play. I still like the game. I'm still going to keep showing up to events to play it. I'll be playing it at EVO Japan. I'm already registered. See you in the next NihongoGamer video.